Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back. It's Jordan here. I've spent my morning just sort of walking around the Lego room here, sort of evaluating what I'm going to do next. It's funny, I have like this anxiety. I'm like, oh no, there's no like projects for me to work on. What am I going to work on next? And I'm like, wait a minute, there's actually like so many things to do in this city. It's crazy. But the difficult thing is deciding what project I'm going to work on next. It's similar to like, what am I going to have for dinner tonight? I don't know. There's so many things I could do, but I just don't know what to do. That's sort of how I am in the Lego room here. I don't know what to do next, even though there is just so much to do. So yeah, let's discuss some of the things here and try and come up with a plan, I guess. So in this little area, I actually have 3 different projects. The first one is the little farmer's market that I plan on putting on these plates right here. It's funny, I placed this, and it was slid forward. And someone in the comment section was like, what you should do is slide it backward and then put your farmer's market in front of it so people have to walk through the farmer's market to get to the botanical garden. I was like, bam, that's a great idea. Thank you for the comment. Beautiful. So that is one project. So now I know for sure the amusement park's going to go here. The trail is probably going to go here and then split into 2 and connect to the trails on either side of the botanical garden. Then we'll put like little vendors everywhere selling their stuff from the farm or their little crafts or whatever it may be. So that's the first project in this area. The second one is the train station. Just thinking about adding a train station, I think, under these 3 platform coverings, and this train station will service the ground line. But then I was thinking to myself, okay, so if it's there, how are people going to board the train? Like, where am I going to put the trail to get to that train station? I was like, I don't know what to do there. Then I was like, okay, well, maybe all my residential buildings need to move. Am I a huge fan of this haunted house sitting right here? I don't know. Maybe that needs to move. And I was like, maybe I should put the residential buildings here. But then I was like, oh my gosh, but there's a train track right there. So that makes no sense. Even though there is a train passing behind the houses, I don't think I want a train passing right in front of the houses because these buildings don't have sidewalks. So they sort of need the sidewalk from the road plate. So that doesn't really work. And then it is just like sort of shuffling around things in my brain all morning. And I was like, what am I going to do? And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to leave it how it is because I've sort of played around with this layout so many times and I came up with this and I just think I really like that. So what am I going to do? How am I going to get people like to the train station? I'll probably just reorganize some of these houses and maybe reduce the size of their yard and then just put like a pathway that connects to the studs right here, because this is a half base plate that hosts the platform coverings, and then sort of have the pathway go like between the houses and go to the train station. So I could start constructing that train station today. Now, something else I want to do is part this building out. This is a daily press. So this is actually built using the parts from a police station. So I want to part that out. And I also want to part this out. And then I'm going to make my actual police station, which is the tan and dark tan building in the center, 32 studs wide. So I'm actually going to get rid of this purple building. And there's a sand green building stuck in there. I'm going to get rid of those 2 buildings. And I'm going to expand this police station so it's 32 studs and potentially add another floor. And then after that, I'm going to take the purple parts and the sand green parts from both police station modular buildings and build 2 more 16 by 32 buildings. And I think that's going to be super cool because we're going to have a larger face for the police station, also for like the donut shop cafe and like the newspaper stand or whatever it is. Yeah, so that's going to be pretty neat. And that's another thing that I could do today. Now, I'm always thinking of new ways to open up space in the Lego City. And honestly, something that really doesn't have a home is the Spring Lantern Festival. So if I ever run out of space, the Spring Lantern Festival is going to be something that's going to leave the city. And then what I'll probably do is just get rid of the corner building here and stretch this row of modulars all the way along so that it goes butt up against the Venetian houses. Now that space is the topic, I've got 1 base plate there, 1.5 base plates here. And my plan was just to continue modular buildings around here because of that train track. Because modular buildings have sidewalk and that just would work out nicely. But I don't know where to put this thing. I think it's going to have to stay here because the gate for it right there is only facing one direction. So for example, I can't put this here because then you're going to be looking at the back of the haunted house when you're standing over there, and it's just not going to look as good as looking at the front. So there's very few positions where this can actually go and look good from all angles in the room. So it's likely that this base plate and these ones here will be allocated to modular buildings eventually, but I'm just not too sure what to do with these houses here. Yeah, residential's a bit scattered. It's like over there and over here. And the issue is there's not really enough space for it, so it's sort of everywhere. I know the Simpsons house and the McAllister's house take up a lot of space, and same with the Quickie Mart, but I don't know. I think those custom base plates look pretty good. Although some people have been telling me to upgrade the vegetation here rather than just having grass like the Simpsons house actually is. Maybe just make it a little more exciting, and I sort of agree with that. Now, I'm talking about space. I think 1, 2, 3, 4 buildings are going to be going soon when we need space. I was telling Jose that I'm going to get rid of them today. I'm going to pull them out of the city and part them all out. And then she's like, just do them one at a time so your city's full. And I was like, yeah, that's probably a good idea. But I found a bunch of trans blue 1x2 bricks on the pad wall. These are like the panels, but be able to do the same thing with brick. So what I think I'm going to do is build a building that's similar to the Daily Bugle, but rather than using clear glass windows, I'm going to use the trans blue bricks. And of course, it's not going to be the same. It's not going to use like the rails. I'll have to come up with my own design. But I think if there's a similar skyscraper to the Daily Bugle, just with different colored windows, that will look pretty cool. And of course, I'll try to make it like the Fantastic Four building. That's my goal, because I'm hoping that they're going to give us an Avengers Tower. So if there is a double height Avengers Tower, and there's also a new sort of skyscraper that I build using those trans blue elements, then we're going to have like 3 towers here in the city, and I think that's pretty neat. Hopefully I can use some of this space that I eventually want to free up to start building like a skyscraper district. I think that's something that the Lego City is lacking. I tried to do that in the past, but sometimes when you only have like 1 or 2 tall buildings in the city like there is right now, it looks sort of awkward because they're so tall. But if there's other skyscrapers that are around those buildings that are the same height, then it starts to look pretty good, like if there's a cluster of skyscrapers. But in order to do that, I need to give these buildings enough room to breathe, so I need to free up space. And that's why I plan on getting rid of some of these other buildings, just to free up more space for updated, refreshed skyscrapers. Now, I had a crazy idea this morning. I was just like sitting down here thinking honestly for over an hour. And I'm just spitballing all the ideas to you now. I was thinking to myself about Diagon Alley. Diagon Alley is sort of hidden in there. And with the facades on either side of it, it currently takes up 4 base plates in the city. So that's quite a bit of space for Diagon Alley. And you can't really see Diagon Alley. It is just like hidden in there. So I was starting to think to myself, there's a new Gringotts Bank coming out, right? Ooh, how am I going to integrate that into Diagon Alley and into the city? So I got this crazy idea. And I was like, well, maybe I can build a Diagon Alley diorama over here on my diorama table. Maybe instead of doing the Winter Village this year, I could focus on building a custom Diagon Alley. Of course, that would involve moving the mansion, and it would also involve moving all of that stuff out of the Lego City, but it would also free up 4 base plates in the Lego City. Now, Gringotts has like a really cool underground vault system with the roller coaster track, right? What would I do with that? Well, maybe, just maybe, I could free up some space, for example, under here, and place that underneath, and maybe customize my own vaults that would be below Gringotts that's on the diorama table. Originally, I was thinking, okay, in order to do that, I'd have to put a platform there and then put Diagon Alley on top of the platform and build the vaults underneath. And then I was like, that's probably going to make it too tall, blocking some of the shelves in the background. So maybe I don't need to build that structure, but maybe I can just do it under here. So I'm not 100% sold on that idea yet, but I think it would be really cool. I actually was looking on rebrickable.com and actually downloaded the parts list for the Diagon Alley modular buildings done by Brick Artisan, just to get an idea of how many parts you need to finish those Diagon Alley modular buildings in the Lego, or from the Diagon Alley set. And I think it's honestly feasible. And I might do that. I'm going to give it some more thought, but I'm just thinking, how am I going to open up space in the city? How am I going to make a cool diorama and add a really cool project to my to-do list? And how can I change up the city and sort of start to change it and make it my own? Like with my own buildings and my own skyscrapers and my own doubling up modular buildings and stuff like that. And that's just like, my thought process this morning. Also, in addition to doubling up modular buildings, I still have a spare jazz club. So eventually I'm going to be increasing the size of that. The jazz club itself is going to get its own base plates. Right now you can see it's right there and it has the little yellow pizzeria beside it and they'll share a base plate. The jazz club is going to get its own base plate and the pizzeria is going to get its own half base plate. So that's another little thing that I want to customize and add to my city eventually as well. So when I started my morning, I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I'm running out of things to do in the city. Oh no, I don't know what to do with myself. And then I was like, wait a minute. Let's just like think of ideas and maybe start to write some of this stuff down in my brain and really start plotting my next move. And that's sort of where we're heading here. I want to start transitioning the city into a little bit more custom stuff, some more like personal modifications on modular buildings like I've been doing, and potentially make a new diorama over there of Diagon Alley rather than like recycling my winter village. I just think it'd be cool to do something different and something a little bit more customized and just something different than the winter village. Although I love my winter village and I would love to redo that as well. So I've really got to give that some thought. It's a beautiful Sunday. I'm about to go walk my dogs with the wife and kids, and it's going to be a great little afternoon. And I guess while I do that, I better think of what project I'm going to work on next, because there's a lot of them, as you can see. Oh yeah, and of course I didn't even mention the obvious project, which is finishing the amusement park. Like, I got it all tiled off. Now we just need to add details and minifigures and stuff. I should be doing that today, but I'm just trying to change up my day. Sometimes you don't want to do the same thing 2, 3, 4 days in a row. You want to work on multiple projects at once, and I think a lot of Lego builders are like that. And look at these two guys right here. They're eating peanut butter sandwiches. Hey, Millie? You enjoying your peanut butter sandwich there, Ben? You like it? Millie? Yeah. Is this their first ever sandwiches, Jose?
Yeah, it's an Uncrustable homemade.
Uncrustable homemade sandwiches. Wow. I didn't even get one of those. Well, everybody, the decision has been made. I'm going to be building a new and improved police station modular building. So here's a look at the before of the police station. And here's a look at the interior before shot as well. Definitely a nice little modular building. I like this jail cell and also that staircase which leads up to the second floor. And then also the third floor. Pretty cool design. And here's a quick look at the interior details of the daily press as well. I like the printing press on the ground floor. That's real nice. Also that staircase and some of the interiors on the second and third floor, pretty neat as well. It's going to be a pretty big challenge, sort of taking all the parts from the daily press and also the police station to create 3 new structures. But honestly, it shouldn't be too hard because we already have a basic design concept with these like 3 facades here. I just need to create essentially 3 separate structures using those designs. So of course, I'll have a bunch of parting out to do, and I'm going to require a lot of these bins. And the kids are finally about to start playing with their first Lego sets. So the kids are playing with their new Lego toys, right? Ben, Mill, you guys having fun? You guys going to build something awesome? And Mom and Dad are going to sit over here together and part out the daily press. I've got all the containers up here on my kitchen counter, and we're ready to go. Look at these kids over here. They're just hanging around, drinking their bottle. So I guess my somewhat custom police station modular building is going to be the next thing that we're working on, because all the parts are ready to go. Got all the bricks, tiles, plates, miscellaneous, some of the mini builds from the daily press, and all the larger plate. And then just sort of everything else. Snap bricks, 1x2s, slopes, 1x1s. Yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting. So I guess maybe later on tonight or tomorrow, going to build a 32x32 stud version of this, and a 16x32 stud version of this, and that. Should be pretty interesting. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm excited to give the police station my own sort of spin. So other than preparing for that, I've sort of just been hanging out with the family all day. Jose and I had the kids in the backyard. They were splashing around on their water table, so that was a lot of fun. We went for a nice long walk. That was good. And now the kids are about to wake up from their second nap, and I'm just going to hang out with them for the rest of the day. Why not, right? You can't build Lego and work every day. But I know tomorrow I'll be building my custom police station, so I'm pretty excited about it. yeah, everybody, thank you so much for coming on by. We got lots of stuff to do in the Lego room here, so make sure you stay tuned. Please remember to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for some more great stuff, and farewell!